Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Catherine, and I work with Community CPA. And as many of you already know, we have these webinars just about every day of the week, except for Sundays. And Thursdays is kind of our special time where we invite external guests, business people in our community to share resources and to help support one another. So we've been doing this for a couple of years now. So that's been exciting. And we've had a lot of great speakers. Today we have Mallory. She is the Outreach and Alumni Manager for the 10,000 Small Businesses program. And she's here to tell us about how it can support businesses. So before that, I just want to briefly introduce Community CPA. We are a full service accounting firm. We do accounting, payroll, taxes, business consultation, and legal consultation and audits and attest services. So basically your needs for business, we're here to help support you. And we serve a very diverse client base. And among our staff, we also speak about 9 different languages to help serve our community better. So thank you for joining us. Mallory, thank you so much for being on today. I really appreciate your time and for telling us about the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business program. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, so I'll turn it over to you. Can you tell us a bit about your program, who it's targeted for, and how somebody can join?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I just wanted to start with a brief overview of our program. So the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program is a statewide program, and it is for small business owners across the state to really accelerate the growth of their company. So here's just a brief agenda of everything I'm going to go over. I'm going to talk a little bit about who our participants are, so who's gone through the program, an overview of what business owners can expect with the program, selection criteria, so who we're looking for, and then success stories and kind of seeing some of our alumni success stories. And then also the process to apply to the program. So I'm going to cover all of that. So this is a national program. So Goldman Sachs started this program about 10 years ago, and it came to Iowa about 3 years ago. So these are some national statistics from the Goldman Sachs Foundation. So nationwide, we have a little over 45% of our participants are female business owners. The ranges of age, it's a wide variety, anywhere from someone who's 22, just kind of starting out in their career. Maybe it's a succession situation where they've taken over for a parent and they want to switch things up in the company and do things themselves. So we've got a lot of those situations, and then all the way to the other side of the spectrum, we have participants that are up to 79 years old. So in those situations, it might be someone who is looking to retire and they really want to accelerate growth before they sell the business. So both of those situations, it's really interesting to see this program and how it can apply to not only different ages and stages of career, stages of the business, but also a wide variety of industries as well. Here in Iowa, we have all sorts of industries represented, from we have alumni in the restaurant industry, hospitality, we have some technology companies, dog grooming companies. We've got just everything under the sun. So regardless of industry, this program still provides relevant curriculum to our business owners throughout the state. On a national level, we have we're one of 24 sites. So if you look over here at some of the other sites for the Goldman Sachs program, a lot of them are metropolitan areas, so larger cities. Iowa was actually the first statewide program. Since Iowa started with the Goldman Sachs program, there have been 2 other states that have kind of followed suit. So we like to say Iowa kind of led the way for a statewide program. So that's just kind of an overview of what that national program looks like. Getting into the meat of what business owners can actually expect with the program, I describe it as kind of twofold. So on one side, you get business and management education. So you get over 100 hours of curriculum. When the program first came to Iowa in 2019, we delivered it in person as well as online. So we always had an online component. And then COVID-19 happened and we had to switch up and be completely virtual. So we had to take away that in-person element. So I'm so excited that this spring, we are actually bringing back that in-person element. So in our spring cohort, we are going back to in-person as well as online. So on the curriculum side, business owners can expect over 100 hours of curriculum delivered both in person and online. This curriculum, it includes everything from how to access capital, to negotiation, to sales and marketing, to human resource management, kind of everything under the sun that business owners face. And then the unique thing about this program is that everything you learn is directly applied back to the business. So it's not just learning concepts and theories and how I could grow my business. It's actually implementing a plan for growth in how I'm going to grow my business. So we take all of this curriculum and the business owners are working throughout each module and each week basically of this 12-week program on their growth plan. So once they're done with the program, not only have they learned all of the topics and the things that are included in the curriculum, but they have a strategic and tactical plan to take with them once they're done, a step-by-step of how I'm actually going to grow my business. So that's what I consider one-fold, is the curriculum and building this growth plan. The other side is the business support services that you get. So not only do we partner with local entities here in Iowa, local government partners, small business partners, but also during the program, business owners that are in the program receive one-on-one business advising and coaching. So they work with a business advisor that they meet with throughout the program. And then also they're making the connections within the cohort. So typically we've got 25 to 30 business owners in each cohort. And those connections that they're making with the business owners across the state, whether it be an industry similar to them or very different, they just get to learn from other business owners. Plus they get that one-on-one business advising and coaching to really make sure their growth plan is it's actually going to be implemented. They've got their T's crossed and their I's dotted, so to speak, and it's realistic and they can actually, have that step-by-step guide. So it's really nice to have the business advisors there to kind of complement what they're getting in the curriculum. And then the program is delivered at no cost to participants. So business owners that apply and get accepted to this program actually receive a scholarship from the Goldman Sachs Foundation. So we can accept a maximum of 40 scholars per cohort. So 40 people, 40 business owners is our maximum because of the scholarship number, but that's how it can be delivered at no cost to participants. The really unique thing is that when we're in person, that curriculum that's delivered in person will be on the DMAC campus in Ankeny when we're in person. And then hotel and food are all covered by the program while we're in person. So not only is the whole, the curriculum and everything essentially free to Iowa business owners, but also you get, hotel and food covered. Even if you're in the Des Moines area, you still get, a staycation. You have a hotel room paid for if you want it, and then food is covered by the program. So there's no worries. The only cost essentially would be travel to get to Ankeny for those in-person sessions. And like I mentioned, typically our cohort sizes are 30 to 40. We can accept a maximum of 40 business owners. And then as I mentioned, you get over 100 plus hours of curriculum during this 3-month program. 12 weeks, I think is what I said earlier. 12 weeks, 3 months, same thing. And I actually do have the schedule also for the fall, or for the spring, excuse me. So I can also send that to anybody that's interested. We do have those dates, so you can see where the in-person sessions are.
Perfect.
So who's eligible? So first of all, these are the minimum criteria just based on how the curriculum is set up. This is really for the stage 2 business. So not necessarily startups, but really people or businesses in that second stage looking to accelerate growth. They're a bit more established. So really just looking to accelerate growth and really hit the gas. So who we're looking for is the owner or the co-owner of the business. If it's a nonprofit, we also do accept nonprofits. It would be the executive director or a decision maker in the organization. That's really who we're looking for. We want somebody that can actually implement these changes at the company. So typically that's the co-owner or the owner of the business, and we can be flexible in some situations if there's a succession planning where the child of the owner isn't quite the majority owner yet, they can still go through the program. There's just a bit of a different process. So really we're looking for the decision maker of the organization. Also, the company has to have been in operation for at least 2 years, have annual revenues above $75,000, and that would be gross sales. So just total sales, total revenue. This isn't net revenue, just total above $75,000. And then have at least 2 full-time employees or full-time equivalent. So for example, if we have the business owner going through the program, they would be a full-time employee. And then if they had at least 2 part-time employees, that would also qualify as a full-time equivalent. So there's some flexibility there. I would say if anybody who's watching this or anybody that's tuning in is close and maybe has some questions, just to reach out to me. And even if they're not quite eligible for the program yet, they will get there. And so I want to make sure that they stay connected with the resources we have here in Iowa to get connected. And then when they are able to meet the criteria of the program, that we're taking that next step and getting them to apply and things like that. So even if you don't quite meet the requirements yet, still feel free to reach out to me and we can stay connected.
Awesome. Mallory, this is kind of the lower limit. Is there an upper limit to the businesses that can join?
That's a great question. We haven't found it yet. So it's still going to be anybody categorized as a small business. So this would be the minimum, like you said, but no, we haven't found that cap yet for a small business that is too big.
Okay, awesome.
But that's a great question. So really who we're looking for is companies with a desire to grow and create jobs. So if anybody, is listening, or of any business owner that really is looking to increase revenue and create jobs in their community, we need to have a conversation, whether they're eligible or they think they might be too big or something like that. Let's just have a conversation and talk about it, because this really is a unique resource here in Iowa that I just want to make sure everybody knows about. And then the process to apply. The first step is just submitting an application on our website, and I can also send that link out to anybody, but if you Google it, you'll find it, kind of thing, but I'm happy to send that link as well. The first step of the application process only takes about 10 to 15 minutes. So you can apply on our website, and then really we just check that you're qualified, that criteria, that you meet the criteria. And then if you don't, we continue the conversation on other resources available here in Iowa. If you do meet the criteria, then you would be invited by the Goldman Sachs Foundation to interview. Along with the interview, we do ask for some supporting materials and financial documents just to verify everything on that application. So we would ask for things like tax returns, balance sheet, profit loss statement, things like that to verify your application. Once we get all that in, then you would be, we would schedule your interview with our panel, and that includes members of the Goldman Sachs Foundation, our director here in Iowa, Jackie Bolt. She's also on our panel. So you would interview with the panel. That would be virtual via Zoom, and that's really just to get to know you as a business owner, get to know your business, why you're interested in the program, just kind of a little bit more informal. But really that first step is just submitting that application on our website. So I would say if anybody's even interested, go ahead and submit an application, because those are due November 10th. So coming up here next week, those applications for our spring cohort are due November 10th.
That deadline is coming up.
It is. It's very much. We've got a lot going on right now. It's a really exciting time. And then once we select our participants for the spring cohort and the next cohort, what business owners can expect from us. So our commitment to you is that full scholarship. So delivering this program at no cost. And then having that class schedule that's convenient. You're well aware of it. Like I said, I have that, and I can send that spring schedule out to anybody. And then you have a network here in Iowa. Once you graduate from the program, you also have our alumni network. Here in Iowa, we have over 160 alumni. And then nationwide, we have over 10,000 alumni. So there's a lot of people to network with, a lot of business owners that are in this network. So that's some things that you can expect from us, what we commit to you. But then on the other side of that, what we expect from business owners in the program is to really be engaged, to attend all of the sessions, to attend the in-person sessions. And we do have some required during the virtual weeks as well. So taking part in all of the activities, both in class, out of class, working on your growth plan, and then just really demonstrating that commitment to the program, because really you get as much in, you get as much out as you put in. So putting in all the effort and really committing and being engaged, that's how you get the most out of this program. And then once you're done, like I said, you will have that growth plan. So you're going to have a strategic and tactical implementation to guide your business growth. So you're not just learning all of these concepts, you're also working towards this plan for growth and the step-by-step on how you're actually going to do it. I talked to an alumni just Monday, I think, and his growth plan was 34 pages. So it really goes into detail, and it takes everything that you learn in the program and puts it right there on paper, so you have that step-by-step guide. And then these are some awesome statistics that they honestly made me memorize day one, because they're really awesome. So just 6 months after completing the program, business owners that go through the 10,000 Small Businesses program, just 6 months later, 67% report an increase in revenue, 47% report an increase in creating new jobs. So those are two really awesome statistics that I want to make sure that, they're right here, big and bold, make sure everybody knows. Not only are we telling people this is what you can expect from the program, but here are some actual statistics on what you get from the program. And then sorry, what was that?
I said that's great.
Yes.
Great numbers.
And then over 98% actually from start to finish actually complete the program as well. We do have some that fall off. I mean, it is a pretty big commitment. So some people, aren't as prepared as maybe we want them to be, or maybe they need to be, but we do have over 98% completion rate. And then this is just a fun statistic. We don't push this at all. This isn't necessarily in the curriculum, but over 87% of our business owners end up doing business together. So that network that you have, not only is it good to bounce ideas off of each other and things like that, but also a vast majority end up doing business together. So that's just a fun statistic I like to share as well. And then here are some success stories from our national program. So increasing revenue, creating new jobs. We also have a lot of these success stories right here in Iowa. So anybody, if you're interested in connecting with an alumni, I'm happy to get anybody connected. You probably know one or two alumni already in the program. Maybe you don't know that they're an alumni of the program, but I'm happy to make those connections if you're considering the program and you want to talk to an alumni. And that's what I had. So thank you so much for letting me talk. I really appreciate it and kind of sharing the word about this program. This is the link to apply. But like I mentioned, if you want me to email that out to anybody, I'm happy to do that. Or I have my contact information on the screen too, if anybody has any questions.
Wonderful. So thank you for it. I see a variety of sectors and industries. Can you talk a bit more about participants in Iowa and what industries they have come from?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just met with an alumni in the restaurant industry in Council Bluffs, and we have alumni that are marketing agencies in Cedar Rapids, accounting firms, the dog grooming company. We have consulting. I mean, there's so many businesses I actually didn't even know, so many industries represented here in Iowa and in our program that I didn't even know existed. Technology companies, electric fencing companies, manufacturing, grocery stores. There's a huge variety. And what I think is really interesting about this program is that you get to learn from business owners in other industries. So a lot of times you're talking to other people in the restaurant industry or the healthcare industry. This way you kind of get to cross-pollinate a little bit, and you get to learn from business owners in other industries and maybe apply that to your industry as something a little bit more outside of the box.
Yeah. So can you tell us, I know you mentioned some of the topics that are in the curriculum. Can you elaborate a little more on the curriculum piece and how it was developed, or does it change year by year?
That's a great question. So 10 years ago, when the program first started, it was started by the Goldman Sachs Foundation in partnership with Babson College out in Boston, which is one of the top business schools in the nation. So basically what they did was they took their MBA program and they condensed it into a 12-week program specifically designed for small businesses to have small business owners apply it immediately to their business. So it's basically a condensed MBA program for your business. That's exactly how it was designed. I would say when I talk to alumni, the most valuable modules and pieces of curriculum that they learned is the accounting, finance. We have, I think, three finance modules. So that's a really big topic. So we cover that in pretty great depth. And that's not meant to make you do your own accounting or anything like that. If that happens, that's awesome. But really, we just want the way the curriculum is set up is so that you understand your books, you understand where you're spending money. That revenue statistic, that 67% of reported increase in revenue, that's not necessarily because they have a new branch or they started a new offering or anything like that. A lot of times it's that they were spending money in places they didn't need to, and the program kind of opened their eyes and made them see that they didn't need to spend money on X or just different things like that, or different questions to ask their accountant, just things like that to have a general understanding. So I would say those are probably the most valuable, but even marketing and sales, employee management, all of that stuff, depending on what you want for your growth plan, depending on how you're going to grow or what you're planning to do, it's different for every alumni, what they get from the program.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mallory. I really appreciate your time here and telling us more about the program. I really hope that you have a great cohort coming up this spring. So I wish you the best in that process.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. Well, everyone, thank you for joining in. We'll see you on Saturday and we'll have some more conversations then. So until then, thanks, Mallory.
See ya. Thank you.